Welcome to the Directors Club podcast, your go-to resource for childcare center owners and directors seeking success at their centers. Each week, we dive into the world of childcare management, sharing valuable tips, tools, resources, and strategies to help you build enrollment, retain top teachers, and streamline your operations. With a casual and lighthearted approach, we tackle the challenges you face from staffing and enrollment to business skills and time management. Join us as we unlock the secrets to creating a thriving childcare center. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together. This is the Directors Club podcast. Hey there, it's Noelle from the Directors Club, and welcome to another edition of our podcast. This month, we're all diving into employee management. We're going to spend the month inside the club and on the podcast with all different resources and tools and tips to get you and your team on the same page with all your policies, how to implement them, and it's all going to be performance driven. We're going to do a lot of work this month in the club on how to manage employees. What are the steps when someone doesn't follow a policy? And how do you help them follow it? What are ways that we can manage them to do it? What tools do we have in our human resource files that can help us do that? Because we want our team to succeed and we want to mentor and coach them. But we also know that some people just don't follow the things. We're going to then move into performance improvement plans and how to develop those. And we have all those tools and resources for the members of the club. And then we're going to get into termination, proper ways to do it, how to document it, all the things. We're really excited this month to be on this journey with you to improve a portion of your human resources for your childcare center. Today, I'm going to dive into a topic that is foundational to the success of your center: the importance of having clear written policies and procedures. Whether you're struggling with getting your team on the same page or just looking to tighten up your operations, I got some tips for you. Let me take you back to a time when I was really struggling with consistency at my center. Despite having what I thought were clear expectations, I noticed that things weren't just running as smoothly as they could. One day, I was at my desk, and this is what birthed our cleaning checklist 20 years ago. I had a teacher come up to me, and this is a true story. And she held up a bottle of toilet bowl cleaner and a bottle of Windex. And she said, "Oh, Miss Noelle, it's my turn to clean the bathroom. What do I use to clean the toilet bowl?" And I don't know, toilet bowl cleaner or Windex? I'm like, I'm going to go with Windex for a joke. And she was like, okay, and walked away. So I had to re-clean the toilet after. But the next day, I introduced my sister and I actually came up with a cleaning checklist and gave them very specific directions and retrained the girl to show her that we don't use Windex, window cleaner on toilets, that we use toilet bowl cleaner inside. And so that all got taken care of. Because as you can see, teachers interpret policies differently, even though that was like outrageous. But it's the truth. And it was leading to a lot of frustration for both me, my sister, and for them. Things weren't as clean as we thought they should be. My sister and I even went into a classroom when they were outside once that she thought was not clean, and I thought it was. And she has different expectations than me, and that's when we both had that conversation of we really need to map out these expectations. How you write out your policies and procedures is just another form of communication. I even remember one time where a simple policy about the cleaning was being done 3 different ways in the classroom. It became very clear to us that the steps weren't laid out in a way that were easy to follow and understand. And what happens when everyone's on a different page is this inconsistency gets created, and unnecessary stress or definitely impacts the quality of what the parents see. Right? If you are all doing it different. I even just was speaking at a professional development day at another school. And we got to talking about the differences between classrooms. If my child starts in the toddler room and I expect that one way, And then I move up to the preschool classroom and I do it totally different. And now maybe my expectation is I don't do it as good as toddler. Or maybe I'm like, oh, they do this way better. Like the last year was awful and I didn't realize it. Really, the way we communicate how we want things done, the policies and procedures at our school, really makes a big impact on the quality of your program. And so it's super easy to get everyone on the same page. And I'm going to go through some steps because this experience was a huge wake-up call for us. And we knew we had to make a change. We took a step back and began reworking our policies and procedures from the ground up. And here's what we did. Number one, we started with why. Every policy needs a purpose. And before you start drafting, make sure you and your team understand that this policy is important. For example, if it's about safety, explain the risk for not following the policy. If it's about cleaning, talk about like the health and safety of the classroom, the expectations of the parents. Like we want to keep selling this so we can put money in your paycheck, right? You have to explain that we don't want the whole center sick because we're not cleaning the toys. So you have to explain the why. They need to understand why. And then why do you have to clean? Who's telling you to clean that way? It's probably the state or your company. You have developed expectations of cleaning as well. So number two, that's the first one. So one, you're going to start with the why. Number two, you're going to break everything down into clear steps. So don't assume that what's clear to you will be clear to everyone. I learned my lesson on that.
Are you a toddler teacher or center director looking to master those unpredictable moments in the classroom? We've got you covered. Download our free Toddler Toolkit today. This resource is packed with 20 easy-to-use transition ideas, a step-by-step guide for directors to lead staff meetings, and a podcast full of practical strategies for managing behavior and creating a calm, engaging environment. Make every transition smooth and stress-free. Grab your free toolkit now and bring balance back to your toddler classroom. Click the link in the show notes to download.
Write out each step in detail. Use simple language and avoid jargon. Consider using something like ChatGPT. That can really help you simplify policies and procedures. It's one of my favorite things to do is to take a policy that I take from my head and I just sit in front of the computer and I type out how I envision it going. And then I copy and paste that into ChatGPT and I'll give it a prompt like, please take this policy and procedure that I have written for my child care center teachers and simplify it and write it in step by step and very clear and detailed so that everyone performs the task the exact same way. And then put in your document, like copy and paste what you wrote and see what you come up with and then go from there. It's a really easy way for you to put this whole podcast topic into action. All right, so now that you have a policy written, they know why. Introduce it to the team at a staff meeting or go around and show everybody, oh, this is our new cleaning checklist. Review it with people, let them look at it, put it into action in the classroom. And then at your next staff meeting, this is number 3, get feedback from your team. Once you've got the draft, you're sharing it, you're trying it, come back at the staff meeting and get some feedback as to how's it working? What do we need to change? I want you before this staff meeting too, is to go around the center and see what everything looks like. So if it's a cleaning checklist, go around the room, do a little cleaning inspection and look at who's checked off what it looks like. How many times have you seen a cleaning checklist checked off and then it wasn't even done? So we're really going to focus on this. We're going to look at it. We're going to give feedback. We're going to come to the staff meeting and that's what we're talking about. We're like, okay, how's it working? Is it working during the day while you talk about the actual doing the work? Is it impacting the day? Is it impacting the closing, the opening, wherever this checklist is to be done? Then talk about the steps clear and look at what you just observed and discuss that. you know what? You guys are doing a great job on this. I went through and inspected all the rooms and I noticed this. Now, I wouldn't be calling anybody out specifically if a classroom's not doing it, but talk to them about what you saw and really go through the details of it. And then if it's one specific room or more or a person, you can do a few things to ensure that they understand it. You can say it's a float that's not completing the cleaning checklist properly. Pair them up in a classroom that is doing it right and have them close in there just one night and have that teacher show them, oh, this is how we do it. And this trains them. You're mentoring each other in a totally different way where you're not having to get involved. But again, pick somebody that's doing a really good job at it and pair that other person up with them. That can be really helpful. Also, take that feedback in that meeting. You might get somebody that says, these are a lot of expectations at night. I'm really struggling with monitoring the kids, getting the cleaning done. It can be very stressful. We have to set expectations with them and we need to take their feedback and say, you know what? You're right. You have too much on you from 5 to 6. So maybe the person that leaves at 5 is responsible from 4:30 to 5 to do like a portion of the cleaning checklist. Really find ways that you can take their feedback and help them or provide more clarity or provide some tools. If you're finding, I think also another little thing that I love to do is if we're implementing something new like this or updated or a different checklist, I like to come around at night and watch them in the midst of it, also to provide feedback and to support them. The whole point of really getting step-by-step clear policies for your team, everyone understands, is that it's just an open dialogue and that we're mentoring and coaching everybody. Now, like I said, you're going to have people that are not going to follow these policies. They're just not going to want to. And that then turns into a totally different topic that we'll talk about another time. But we're talking about that. And the club is about like performance plans, written warnings, and maybe even eventually termination. All right. The fourth step in creating these policies and making them stick is policies shouldn't be static. Set a schedule to review and update them. What works today might not work a year from now. Make sure your policies evolve with your child care center's needs. And so one thing that I love to tell the members of the club is we utilize the success map inside the Directors Club. And that is where and I know a lot of you have taken the course, that is when we take all the things we do at the child care center and we map it out for the whole year. And on that map, I want you to review my policies, review my checklists, review like whatever it is that you want to review for this topic and put it on every quarter. And you don't have to review the checklist every quarter, but you could review the cleaning checklist this quarter. And maybe next month you review the progress report policy. So really look at all the things you want to review because policies do change and need to be updated. They could even be streamlined. Just thinking about when we just did this, we actually cut out a bunch of steps in the bathroom, the end of day cleaning with the bathroom because we have a cleaning company and we were doing like a couple extra things that we didn't think we needed to do anymore. It's a really good thing for you to review everything and have that discussion again at a staff meeting. Those are the 4 things. After implementing these 4 steps, we started to see real transformation at the center. The cleaning routines, which had been a source of much of our frustration, became standardized across all the classrooms. And the teachers were not only following the procedures more consistently, but they were also more confident in their roles because they knew exactly what was expected of them. And there was so much pride. This consistency trickled down to everything we did. Parents noticed it. We were hearing about it on tours. We did parent surveys, and we were getting feedback on how well organized the center was and the high quality of the environment. And let me tell you, it felt pretty amazing to finally have all this running smoothly. The stress level decreased for everybody, and the positive impact on our center's reputation was undeniable. Here's my challenge to you. Take a look at the policies and procedures you currently have in place. Are they clear? Are they being followed consistently? Are they being followed up to your expectations? And if not, what can you do to improve them? Remember, clear documentation is key to running a high-quality center. If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure where to start, I'd love to help you. In the Directors Club, we dive into these topics regularly. What this month is all about. We brainstorm on Zoom a few times a week, and you'll get access to all of our done-for-you tools and resources that you can implement right away. So if you're ready to take your center to the next level, I'd love you to join us in the club. We'd love to have you. Thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you transform your center with clear, effective policies. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.